Welcome to another episode of the Online Prosperity Experience podcast. You're about to hear your host, Prosper Taravinga's powerful digital marketing strategies and actionable tactics that you can use right now. Prosper has helped more than 50,000 people from over 10 countries to create meaningful businesses that are profitable and enjoyable. Listen to this podcast so that you too can build your own business with less stress and overwhelm. Let's get started.
How to thrive during these uncertain times. Now, if you're living in the same world I'm living in, you would realize and recall that the last couple of years have not been the best, especially when it came to small to medium businesses and also our health, our wealth, and relationships across the globe. Okay, so health-wise, we went through a major pandemic, of unprecedented proportions. We've never seen anything like this that covers, every corner and every pocket of human survival. Even animals were, are being said to have been experiencing the symptoms of, the pandemic virus. And also when it came to wealth, a lot of people were told maybe their businesses or their work was non-essential, which meant they were not able to create, income on their own, which led them to rely on either government handoffs, if your government is, one that has a social bond to it, or they had to rely on, government stipends in order to be able to pay for their staff. And when it came to relationships, I've had maybe 4 people that were really close to me, so to speak, connected in the business sense, that have actually gone through maybe a divorce or they've lost connection with some of their loved ones, just predicated on how they navigated, the information that came through during the pandemic. And you can imagine having to go through all of this. This might actually resonate with you, either from your clients or even you personally. And, it might have actually left you jaded and not knowing what to do next. And you're thinking, how do I create a business that actually remains 100% bulletproof, even when, we have market downturns, as it's going to be coming through in the not so distant future, or maybe another global pandemic hits, as, this has left a lot of people confused as to whether they should continue with their business or not. And maybe there could be sweeping lockdowns, which is something that was also new. We hadn't experienced anything of proportions like this, where here in Melbourne, we were made to lock down for over 235 days. So I've decided to put maybe together a list of best practices and ideas to help coaches and consultants not only to manage, but thrive during, these uncertain times, especially when it comes to the actual, running a business that's profitable and enjoyable without having to worry about maybe things are going to be shut down in the next week or so. So as I go through this, I want you to just pick on things that resonate with you. We were not all dealt the same card. Some people had it good. Some people had it the worst. Those that had it good actually managed to make the most money in their entire lives. I mean, look at how Elon Musk managed to go to space, even Jeff Bezos and Richard Branson, something that had never been done, human space travel or whatever it is that they called it. And it was all during lockdown. And up until Elon Musk went on to even want to buy his own social media platform, because he doesn't know what to do with the money. And we also have billionaires like Bill Gates, who, I don't know what he does with his foundation, is able to actually support the whole world and, help other people. If that's what he does, I'm not quite sure. But at the end of the day, you are a small to medium business. You are trying to, identify your target market. You are trying to clarify your message and determine the media. And all of these things are just happening and you're left not knowing whether should I go, should I stop, should I keep going, or what should I do, in order for me to create a business that's profitable and enjoyable. And now it calls upon your entrepreneurial spirit to actually survive. Otherwise, if you can't go past any of what we've been through, then it's going to be grand closing of your business. And I keep talking to a lot of people, and some people are starting to feel the effects of what the pandemic actually did to them, because they can't get back to generating leads. They can't get back to putting their fees up because they're afraid they might lose clients. So in these best practices in this podcast, if some of these best practices resonate with you, and if you have some of your best practices, why don't you add them to the list so that we can help others be, do, and have a business that's profitable and enjoyable. And I would pretty much appreciate any suggestions and ideas that will help others have a happier existence. One thing that I noticed that not a lot of people have been doing is really connecting with the audience. All right, when you have identified your target market, you explicitly know what their needs are. You explicitly know what their pain points are. You explicitly know what it is that they need in order for them to sleep better at night. And if you do, you can literally start reaching out to them either on social media, or you can host a virtual workshop for your ideal clients. Because if you know what your clients are going through right now, all you really need to do for them is create something that justifies their failures, right? They have not been succeeding in life just pretty much because they haven't come across your IP, they haven't come across your methodologies, they haven't come across your your way of doing things. So why don't you pick a bunch of people that you think are your ideal clients, if you really know who they are, and you're clear on what it is that they need, and host a virtual workshop with them. Now, this can either be a free workshop, or you can actually charge for the time that you are giving out to them. So it can literally be a one-to-many discovery call, okay, or a way to actually get your foot in the door and demonstrate your expertise. All right, the reason why maybe a lot of people are not buying from you is because maybe they literally don't know what it is that you can provide for them. So if you put together a bunch of people in a Zoom call, 10 people is even a lot more people, because out of every 10 people you might get 2 or 3 people that might want to know a little bit more about what you're doing, and eventually one of them turns out to be a customer. I'm just being very conservative with the conversion rates there, but if you show people you can help them by actually helping them and inviting them to help them understand their problems, and if you can articulate people's problems more than they can articulate it themselves, they would assume that you've got a solution. And obviously the solution then so happens to be your consulting, your training, your information, or expertise that you can offer to them. Because if people don't know what you can offer them, how are they going to buy from you? Okay. And one of the greatest challenges that we face as consultants is also knowing what our ideal clients are thinking. So when you host a virtual workshop like this, you literally have a petri dish to work with, people that are in the market for the products and services that you want to be offering to them. You literally can ask them questions, and you can go in and create a product for them that resonates with where they are and what it is that they would want to buy. Okay, so for you to have a clear connection to what's going on in their mind, if you invite them and sit down with them mano a mano, okay, and actually ask them, what is it that you need right now? How can I encourage your dreams? How can I help you reach your goals? You literally can connect with the people that you're going to be demanding money off of. And running a virtual workshop can literally put you in front of the people that you're helping without the angst or the the reservation that maybe they're being sold onto one of your products or anything like that, because you're literally leading with value, because we get paid in direct proportion to the value that we bring to the marketplace. Okay, so Right now, everybody's just thinking the same thing, okay? And this is an opportunity for you to tailor your message and to actually make it timely and have it resonate with exactly what your future clients are thinking right now. Half of the time we assume what our clients need, whereby we can literally go in, ask them, how can I help you right now? What have you been failing that you need answers to? And then you can go back and create a product and then ask them, would you buy X, Y, and Z if I created it for you? And people will tell you no or yes. People like buying stuff, but they don't like being sold to. So if you have already created products and you're trying to push them into a market that necessarily doesn't maybe know they need those services, having a virtual workshop or like Zoom meetings or networking meeting will not only put you in front of your ideal clients, but you literally explain to them how you will be helping them. And now if they have an understanding and they're empowered to buy from you, you, my friend, would have created your own customers, okay? And while you're doing that, just be flexible when you're speaking with your clients, okay? We are in uncertain times. People are going through stuff. They're not going to know everything that they need. Not a lot of people know what they need in 5 days, in 50 days, in 5 years, or things of that nature. Just find out what is it that you can help them with immediately. And usually that's the one thing that's at the top of their mind. Don't try and invent things that are not needed, or even if you know that down the track they might need a certain part of your service or expertise, just work with where they currently are right now, okay? And be flexible when you're talking to them, because things are changing faster than anybody else has anticipated for. So you want to be very patient with these people. They're going through a lot. They're dealing with so much, and just thank them for the time that they've given you, because they're allowing you to literally, do market research for absolutely nothing, okay? And if you can't do, virtual workshops, just reach out and interview your ideal clients. When I was starting my business, this is how I literally grew my business. I reached out and I was interviewing a whole bunch of coaches and consultants and just putting their message out there. Little did they know that by them talking to me, I was actually getting an understanding of who they are and how they provide their service. And then at the end of the call, I'll just be like, hey, I just noticed something that you said or something that's on your website. You could actually enhance your business, using this method. Or you could actually amplify what it is that you're creating already using these methods. Now, that's an easier conversation. You know why? When you have interviewed somebody and you've given them a platform, they would now think the only way they can reciprocate that opportunity and favor you've given them is by maybe buying some of your services or booking you in for a full-on consultation. And not only will this content help you get in front of your ideal clients, you can actually use this content for your podcast, for content, for articles, for videos that you would actually create. So when you interview somebody, that content is not just unique to them. Even though our clients think that their problems are unique only to them, everyone is going through the same thing. And especially if they're in the same industry, same business, you literally will now have insights as to how you can literally help them by actually helping them, okay? And once you've got all of this content, especially if it's in video, you can have it, transcribed and create articles and videos. And if you want, you can literally start sharing these articles and videos in other people's blogs, so you can literally guest post in other people's publications. And there's online trade publications in your industry, and you can reach out to them and say, hey, I've been interviewing people in this industry, and these are the insights that I have, and literally write an article or host a webinar, which now puts you in front of a bigger audience. Okay, so most of these things we might think they're too far away from us, but right now, you've got Zoom. Right now, you've got a client list. Right now, you've got LinkedIn. Right now, you've got Facebook or Instagram. Just reach out to 10 people that are your ideal clients. Invite them to a Zoom meeting, and voila, you already have insights that no one in the marketplace has. Even though they might have similar content, but they don't have content with that particular person and with you. So that creates a unique point of reference that people will be interested in, to get to know what's happening in their industry. And you can literally package that information into either an ebook or into a video, which people can subscribe or exchange their email address with, just so that you can grow your email list. Okay, so and once you've got people on your email list, you continue doing those interviews. Those interviews now become content that you're feeding your email list. And when people are getting value from you, why do you think they want to go elsewhere? You are literally reaching out to your audience, giving them value, giving them information that can help them make do, encouraging their dreams or confirming their suspicions, so that they can have a happier existence. And one thing that would actually be the best use of your time, especially during these quiet times where there's probably market downturns or global pandemics or maybe climate change or things of that nature. Start writing that book you've always thought about, or develop other content series. Now that you've got all these people that you're interviewing, all their insights can be actually packaged into a book. All that content can be transcribed and put into a book. Now, you see, there's no reason for you to be stopping just because things are not working in the way that, some guru from some guru casino says it should work in terms of lead generation. Because once you have a book, that book now appeals to a different caliber of clients. People that take time to read and learn new insights are your best kind of clients, because if they're always learning, they're eager to implement what they're learning. You just so happen to have the implementation process or the implementation procedures that are cheaper, better, faster than them doing it by themselves. So at the end of the day, you have all this, access and opportunities for you to be creating content en masse, either video or podcast or, a blog or book. All right. You should create so much content that people should hear it. People should see it. People should read it. People should experience it. And you mean to tell me through all those modalities, you can't generate one or two at the most, clients every single month predicated on the amount of work that you've put out there? I guess not. See, that means we're not doing enough. All right. With what we have, we're just leading with, oh yeah, you buy this. But if you give something first, if you give value up front, people would want to reciprocate that value with their credit card. And that's how people are buying our services. Okay. And once you've done that, you can personally reach out and maybe call every client, past and present, see how they're doing. Okay. And ask them if they want to be involved in your interview series. Ask them, if they want to contribute to a case study. Ask them if they want to give you a testimonial, and use this as a chance to see if you can actually support them if they aren't maybe ready to buy whatever you're selling. Don't push. You just reached out and said, hey, what's going on? Let them know that you are there to help whenever they're ready, okay? People will always buy from those that they know, like, and trust. And if somebody has purchased from you before, they're more than receptive to something new that you might have. And you having this new piece of content or this new book might actually give you or open up an opportunity or a door that you thought would have been closed a long time ago, okay? Just let people know you are there to help whenever they're ready. And continue reaching out and checking in, because some people might be going through a lot of stuff, and you just showing up, you just being that voice of reason, or being that friend in need or shoulder to proverbially cry on, you would have made difference, because some of these people don't have people in their lives that can actually be there for them. So if you can be that person for your clients, do you think they're gonna cancel your retainer when the invoice comes in the next time? No. You now have created a relationship that any other service provider cannot penetrate or even dissolve, no matter how cheap the product or service it is that they're putting through out there. Okay. And when people are ready to buy, just pitch. All right. Pitch advisory and coaching work that doesn't require you to be on site. Okay. Try and make yourself as virtual as possible. Yes, I understand as coaches and consultants, we might want to see more of our people, but the globe has opened up. Okay. The internet has opened up more communities that are not just in our area. We can literally work with people in Bujumbura or have people in, Pakistan helping us with work. We need to really open up our horizons and literally go outside our 24-hour box. Think outside your 24-hour box. What time zones can you add to your service provision? Because if you got people in America and you live in Australia, there's usually like a 15-hour difference. Who can actually support your clients? You literally need to open up your horizons, okay? And once you've done that, you want to build an ecosystem around you with partners, with vendors from all over the globe, because now you've got the best minds and talent on the internet on tap. Okay, you no longer have to just rely on Sally, who knows something about computers, just because you went to school with her and you feel bad because she now has 6 kids she has to look after. You can help John, who is a science major, who knows things to do with coding and things like that, and get the best product out there with the best talent, with the best teams, and you can actually offer value to your clients and be paid accordingly. Okay, so right about now, there's no point in you just holding on to your local networks. You literally can expand yourself. During the lockdown in 2020, I was actually awarded Networker of the Year because I was reaching out to just about everyone, connecting with these people and really finding out how I can be of help. And that's one of the years I actually made a lot more money within my business, just predicated on the fact that I did not stop. Just because we were in sweeping lockdowns or global pandemics, I literally used tools that we now have at our disposal to reach out and connect people with resources, tools, and processes that I can help them do and have a business that's profitable and enjoyable. Okay? And look at this. Once you are out there for yourself, just make sure you're getting paid for your time. You're getting paid for all the advice that you're dishing out there, okay? It's not a matter of you just helping people just because you know them. Everybody out there is looking for somebody that can help them, and they're willing and able to pay for the service. Charge them. Okay, aim to have all payment terms upfront, so you get paid in advance for usually the work before you get started. You especially when you're working with global teams and things of that nature. All right, because at the end of the day, you might think, oh, how can I, demand my money from somebody in America? Just be flexible depending on your situation and the client relationship, but have systems and processes in play so that you get paid in advance. You can use tools like Stripe. You can use PayPal. There's so many, systems and processes that are out there that are designed for the consultant, designed for the coach to literally do and have a business that's profitable and enjoyable. Okay. And while you're doing that, make sure you allocate your time to do things that you absolutely love. Do something with your health, do something with your wealth, do something with your relationships. The reason why I'm saying this is because now you have time. Instead of you going out, getting stuck in traffic, getting stuck at airports, trying to go and speak in different locations, you literally can be virtual and, literally connect with so many people just from the seat of your pants, all right? But you can't do well if you're not feeling well, okay? try to stay physically healthy while you're doing this, regardless of your situation or location. Stay active, because if you're going to be showing up on any Zoom, you need to show up as if that's the only Zoom you'll ever do. That's the first Zoom that you have done, even if you have done 50 meetings already. Because somebody is sitting in their home, you are in their personal space. So if you're not entertaining them, educating them, and being of value, why do they need you in their own home or in their own office? All right, so stay active. Push ups, sit ups in between meetings, go for a walk, get some fresh air, ride your bike. Your health is a requisite to success. You can't do well if you're not feeling well. And not only do you need to stay physically healthy, stay mentally fit. In between my calls, in between my podcasts, I'm reading, learning new concepts. A great time for deep study is when you have quiet time and you can up your game and, replenish all the stuff that you're putting out there. Okay? And once you know what it is that's missing, just look at what you have, not at what you don't have, and focus on the positives, not the negatives. Because at the end of the day, you might actually start going in a downward spiral when you think that people are not maybe reading your blogs or listening to your podcast that you're creating or reading your book. You just constantly have to be putting stuff out there. There's what's called the long tail, okay? If you notice, back in the time, we used to have, bestseller lists, or we used to have number one records on radio. There used to be like 40 number one records, and then the rest were never listened to. But ever since iTunes came, the long tail became something, because now the internet has opened up so many niches. You don't necessarily have to be, the golden child or the hit list or the hit maker. You just have to be relevant to enough people and change their lives. Because literally, as a consultant, if you really, really, really look at it, all you need is to make 2 sales in your business every single month to be consistent to whatever income that you want. And if those 2 sales are not making you reach your goals, just raise your prices. Like literally 14 days to make 1 sale, and then another 14 days to make another sale. And then you just keep growing from then on. And if your work predicates on you delivering on the service or whatever it is, either outsource the service delivery or get other people around you to actually help you, with the implementation of the service. We're going through hard times right now. Yes, it might look like things are open and things have changed, but challenging times give new perspectives. Just focus on gratitude. Focus on how far you've come. Be thankful for what it is that you have. And while some might actually just stick their head in the sand and just maybe hope things will get better, it might work for now, but this uncertainty is what creates legends. This uncertainty is what creates leaders. And if you haven't been present when things are hard for your clients, what makes you think that they will be there when things are good? All right? Always remember that turbulent times actually create opportunity for those that are looking for it. So if you've got new ideas, new IP, new content, new offers, new investments, if you look at how I literally changed, after 2020, all my funnels, all my email marketing, and now I don't necessarily even need to be on social media. You know why? Because I've built a business that can actually outlast me. Some of us have a business that if we go away for the weekend, we don't have anything to come back to on Monday. Have you got an email list? Have you got funnels that people can go through? Are you educating your audience? Are you actually creating content that will sustain a need for somebody to want to continue to know more about what it is that you're doing? The best investment you can make right now is into your business. The best investment you can do right now is into your own mindset. The best investment that you can do right now is making sure your relationships are in order. Your client relationships, your family relationships, and the relationships with your providers. You know what I mean? And make sure your health is above all else on top, because you're going to be the only constant, whether it's through a pandemic or whatever it is. You want to make sure that you're on top of everything. You can't do well if you're not feeling well. And listen, man, there's always a silver lining. Stay strong. You come out on the other side and even further ahead. Even if you try one or two of the things that, I mentioned in this podcast here. So if you're probably stuck, maybe at home or in your office, and you can't make the most of this time, maybe by learning and implementing whatever it is that I've mentioned, we can literally work with you. Why don't you come around, okay? And if you want, you would like my help to take advantage of these challenging times, I've got a call that you can jump onto for free, just so that you can see, how you're doing as compared to other consultants and coaches out there. And on this call, we'll work hands-on, especially with you to develop for you a strategic plan, and then deep dive and work with you to find out your ideal client. Because like I mentioned earlier on, if you want to be doing virtual meetings or interviews, you need to know exactly who your target market is, because if you don't know them, you can't speak to them or connect with them. And once you've decided who that ideal client is, I will help you formulate strategic messaging, and then also formulate your consulting or coaching offers so that you have something to sell when you show up at somebody else's door, and help you structure your fees and maybe your pricing so that, like I said, you need to be selling at least two clients every single month. So maybe your fees and pricing needs to be adjusted, or maybe your actual business model needs a bit of optimization. And then pretty much after that, I can help you set up your marketing engine, your lead generation system, to consistently attract the right ideal clients. And once you have that, guess what's going to happen? You'll be able to create a diverse recurring revenue streams so you can skyrocket your profitability and show that your business runs and remains 100% bulletproof. Even during market downturns, even during global pandemics, and even during a sweeping lockdown. I can't wait to see you, thrive even in these times of uncertainty. These ideas will help you manage and thrive during these turbulent and uncertain times. I can't wait to see what you do with this information. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions, let's continue the conversation in the Live Long Digital community. Become a Live Long Digital community member today. This community is for ambitious entrepreneurs and small business owners with the drive to take control of the future of their businesses and achieve huge success without stress and overwhelm. As you heard, Prosper can help you by teaching you marketing strategies that work. So look no further than the Live Long Digital community of entrepreneurs and highly successful business owners. Join our community today. Find us on www.community.livelongdigital.com.au. Network with other driven entrepreneurs and find the expert guidance you need to take your business to the next level. www.community.livelongdigital.com.au